Hanford union workers tell us there was an explosion at the plutonium finishing cleanup site, the plutonium finishing plant cleanup site weeks ago, but the event was not shared with the public.
Jane Sanders spoke with a union representative today who explained the incident. Jane, what happened?
Shannon Merritt, the Hanford union representative, described the explosion as a spark, then flames, and a loud bang. I'm told it happened when workers were cutting some pipe as part of the demolition of the plutonium finishing plant, or PFP. The union rep I spoke with wants to remain anonymous and says workers are concerned management isn't putting worker safety first.
Having a pipe explode at probably the most contaminated facility in the United States, this is one of the most hazardous buildings in the U.S.
Workers described the explosion as a spark, then flames that shot out of a pipe, and a loud bang that vibrated the pipe and the worker. I'm told it happened 2 weeks ago when workers were cutting a pipe inside PFP, the location where the plutonium was manufactured for one of the atomic bombs dropped in World War II.
Management continues to call this small pop, even though the workers are saying, no, this thing was a big, loud bang like a shotgun blast.
CHPRC is the contractor managing the PFP site cleanup. Workers tell me they think the contractor is playing down the explosion and possible safety concerns to protect themselves from fines and work delays. I'm told if the pipe broke, workers would have inhaled plutonium particles with possibly deadly health effects.
They care more about their milestone being met, getting this facility torn down in a timely fashion, than any of the concerns that are brought up. People bring up concerns and it falls on deaf ears, especially at this facility.
Management issued a stop work order for cutting pipes at PFP, but workers don't think enough is being done to protect them when they get sent back.
It's like they're dumbing it down, because if this becomes a big concern, they're not going to be able to remove the pipe in a timely manner. Well, that's not the concern. I could care less about your time frame and how much money you're going to make when you get that pipe out. My concern is the people that are cutting the pipe in the first place, and that doesn't seem to be their concern.
Union reps tell me management wants to keep experienced workers quiet.
PFP is not wanting to use experienced individuals anymore because we're bringing up too many concerns in this plant. They want to bring in the guy that's not going to ask any questions, and they've started to do so.
The union representative tells me he thinks the stop work order is expected to be lifted next week. The PFP contractor, CH2M Hill, tells me that their goal is safe and compliant work. And they are in the process of examining the pipe to find out what caused the incident so it doesn't happen again in the future. Live in the studio, Jane Sander, NBC, right now.
Quake since 3/11 in Tokyo felt through more than half of Japan's prefectures. Expert quote, people should take precautions for the next several days. AP, unusual quakes hit Alaska. Tokyo, it was the strongest earthquake since the 9.0 quake in March 2011. The quake was felt across a wide area of Japan, with the strongest shaking registered in central Tokyo, the agency reported. There were no reports of damage or other abnormalities from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant. I saw the live cam. It was shaking really good. Unstable on crumbling foundations. Reuters reported magnitude 6.6 earthquake struck in the Pacific Ocean. A second earthquake of magnitude 6.1 about 10 minutes later further south. Now on Saturday, a series of small earthquakes and aftershocks rattled northern Alaska. The earthquakes are unusual because the region isn't a seismically active part of Alaska. So there's something definitely shaking and going on for sure. Alarm as record numbers of seals and sea lions starving to death along California coast. Quote, it just spiked. Calls started coming non-stop. So many unhealthy washing ashore. Extremely complex issue. Multitude of factors in play. Definitely a mystery. Nobody knows what's really going on the Pacific coast. We're hoping it's not the new norm. We're just getting started, folks. These stories are up and down. NBC right now, explosions at U.S. nuclear site kept secret from the public. This is Hanford. Happened in a plant where plutonium was manufactured. Quote, one of the most hazardous buildings in America. Workers, quote, flames shot out, big loud bang like a shotgun. Now, these union workers are dismantling this building, and they're cutting some pipe, and there was some kind of gas built up inside this pipe, and it ignited, and it blew off like a shotgun blast. Well, the union's going round and round about the company in charge of Hanford, and this has become a safety issue. Such a safety issue that the only reason it came out was some anonymous union worker brought it to the paper. The insanity continues. Definitely an interesting read. Government investigator acute hemorrhaging found in dead owls along the west coast. Here we go again. It's not just the owls and the seals. Mortality event began 8 months after Fukushima explosions. Quote, in very poor condition, badly mansick. When arriving in the Pacific Northwest from the Arctic. You remember last year all the stories coming out about everybody seeing the Arctic snowy owls where they shouldn't be. Again, this is these creatures just trying to get out of the way, much like what's going on in the Pacific Ocean. Marine mystery in California, toxic outbreak threatening marine life. Birds falling from the sky, sea lions convulsing, worst they've ever seen. Toxin hits record level, almost 1,000% above government limit. Heart lesions, severe shrinking in parts of the brain, nervous system failure. What people aren't putting into this factor is we know radiation causes mutations in plant life and animals. Now even this low-level radiation that this algae's been exposed to over the last 3 years, how many generations of mutations have happened? Okay, and they're wondering why this algae is doing what it doesn't normally do. Usually it releases its toxins for about a week and life goes on. But apparently this algae is now producing this toxin non-stop. The insanity continues. Grossly disturbed, disintegrated, destroyed. Bags found above nuclear material inside the WIP site. Anomaly in waste stack. Chemical reaction suspected based on recent findings. Now they're saying this isn't a building collapse now, right? This is just degraded containers because of this material has eaten through and have had reactions, blah, blah, blah. We're just getting more and more run around with WIP. And again, they're never going to tell us what's really going on unless we get on top of it. State Senator, Fukushima is damaging the oceans and devastating the environment. An enormous crisis that has no foreseeable resolution. U.S. Senator, people are concerned about Fukushima radiation entering our waters. I want to know the agency's plan to respond to issues that might arise. Well, we already know what the agency's plan for the issues that might arise. They're going to turn off the monitors and lie and manipulate and try to keep this as much in the dark as they possibly can. No plan to stop Fukushima from contaminating Pacific? TEPCO advisor doubts ice wall can stop groundwater from flooding the plant. We've been going on and on and on and on about this one. We're concerned it may affect environmental protection and cause unintended consequences. Yeah, like building collapses. And that's about all I have for you today. Of course, if I missed anything, please let me know. Attach your comments or videos below. Enjoy while you can, everybody.
Oh yeah, go on, click the subscribe.
For the record, I'm Diana, and today is May 6, 2014. Here are your news updates for today. I'm attaching a lot of information and also One for the record will take a special look at the Watchman. Some of the Watchmen of YouTube. So stay tuned.
In ancient Israel, the Lord of the vineyard protected his precious fruit against marauders. He commanded that hedges and walls be built round about, and that a watchman be set on a tower to sound the voice of warning while the enemy was yet afar off. The elevated view of the watchman allowed him to see what others couldn't, and to protect the vineyard from the onslaught of danger. Today, the Lord has provided us with a similar protection. He has called prophets and apostles who act as watchmen upon the tower to warn us of the dangers of our day.
That's whenever people have qualified to have the prophets of God among them. Those authorized servants are always charged with warning the people, telling them the way to safety.
Hey guys, Dabu7 want to share with you a huge anomaly taking place here on the Morphed Integrated Microwave Imagery data chart. And you can see right here in this composite that there is a large arc, a bow of some sort that is being produced right here. Do you see that? In this region. This is very similar to the type of bow we seen over Russia here a week or so ago, but it was rainbow colored, all kinds of different colors. Now, what is interesting also about this clip is if you pay attention right here off the coast of New York, you're going to see like this white jagged pattern come out. Do you see that? I've never seen that before. I've been watching these charts and these maps for a long time.
May 6, 2014. Notice our timestamp in the bottom right. What we're looking at is linear is above the Earth. Not that far above, not anywhere near the range that we would not be affected by any solar activity that comes from the sun. A solar flare, coronal mass ejection is linear. You see in the top right, it started to glow. That's telling us that it's becoming recharged. It will have an effect. It is negative charge, the sun is positive charge. It is an electrical arcing effect. We saw it with every comet that's come in.
Hey everybody, DUTCHSINSE here. 10:54 p.m. Central Time on Sunday, May 4th, 2014. And we're looking at Earthquake 3D here, which is a USGS feed of the most recent earthquakes. And I've got it turned down for the last 7 days. We're looking at everything 2.5 and greater in the US, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, and Alaska, and 4.0 and greater internationally. The higher the earthquakes are off the globe, the deeper they are in the Earth. and I've put out several posts today covering this topic, the deep earthquakes, and also a troubling new trend that's actually happened over the past several days now, a series of earthquakes happening around the entire Ring of Fire and in the U.S., occurring at dormant volcanic chains and newly fresh lava fields. California. I cannot stress this enough, folks. Have an earthquake plan ready and be prepared, just in case. The reason I'm trying to show you the volcanic activity, trying to let you know what's going on. The unrest that's happening around the Pacific is having a spillover effect and a plate effect now due to the asthenosphere, and it's causing things like plumes to erupt out of geothermal wells. This was confirmed on the mainstream media this past week. Geothermal wells blowing in Southern California at Salton Sea. It was caught on visible satellite. Everybody said it was a brush fire, and then the mainstream media came out and confirmed it. Brawley geothermal well blows. The time to have a plan is now. You could just make basic preparations: food, water, transportation, communications. Make sure you, your kids, your co-workers, your employees know the plan.
Hello YouTube, how y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing great. I'm having the robot read this to you. I know some of you don't like that, but you know, information is information, and if you don't like the robot, then read it, but you won't. So per se, y'all have a great day. From my cold dead hands,
this is a THORNEWS presentation. THORNEWS presents. Alright, this is a THORNEWS warning. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't panic. Everything's gonna be okay. But I do want to report an extremely large uptick in near-Earth asteroids that were found in 2014. As you know, I've been doing this for over a year, and I've been checking NASA's near-Earth object page pretty much daily. You get to do awesome crap like that when you do not have a love life. No complaints. And I'm alarmed at the amount of near-Earth asteroids that have been put on this page leading up to the debris stream comet 209P Linear has left since the 1800s that we will be passing through the 24th and the 25th, and then the actual passage of 209P Linears on the 29th of May. So it's going to be an exciting time. But no matter what, it's just very interesting that yesterday when I was compiling this data, I noted that the 36 near-Earth asteroids from the 5th of May to the 29th of May, 22 of the 46 had been found this year. It's pretty much almost half. Technically 0.47, 82, 60, 87%, and that 33 of the 46 yesterday had been found since 2010 or greater. I don't know, man. Did we not have cameras invented until 2009? I know technology keeps advancing, but I would say it would be natural to get data anxiety from this, and this is not fear-mongering. NASA has asked us to help them on their Grand Asteroid Challenge, and basically in any way we can. Congress and the President have had a great idea, like, hey, let's just outsource and crowdsource the protection of Earth from outer space objects. So I'm doing what I can.
Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, I'm breaking in tonight and simply because there's been a massive explosion in Iran, and it's being downplayed by the media, but Israel is reporting that there's an immense explosion in Iran, may have nuclear origins. An immense explosion has been heard throughout the northern Iranian city of Qazvin. It's a semi-official Fars news agency is reporting, and there's many casualties are expected from this blast. Now, there's about 1.1 million people that live in this city, which is located about 100 miles north of Tehran, Iran. The blast may be related to a nuclear development in Iran. According to the Los Angeles Times, Iranian officials in the past have strongly denied claims by the Mahadin organization, or the MKO, a cult-like Iranian exile group, that it has a secret nuclear enrichment facility near a major city, according to the Daily. Now,
back to the nuclear fucking nightmare. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? This fucking news media, the fucking conscience of fucking America, the conscience of the world is not all over this. There is plutonium flowing into the Pacific fucking Ocean. Do you understand? I mean, people don't understand the implications. Are we really this fucking stupid? Is this fucking country's conscience really that fucked up? Is it really that? But there is plutonium flowing into the Pacific Ocean.
It is the 6th of the 5th, 2014. This is just in. Day number 1152. ENI News. Nuclear fuel fragments from Fukushima found in Europe. Study plume came directly from North America. The plume came directly from North America. Hot particles, a significant part of disaster's radioactive release, quickly disperses around the entire hemisphere. Seen on film of air filter in Norway. We've got like 2 or 3 spots reporting here that they've actually detected radioactive materials in their filters directly from Fukushima. Now they're mentioning cesium-134, 137, iodine-131, no mention of plutonium or the other 1,300 or so radioactive isotopes that are found commonly together. Number 3 was a MOX fuel reactor. Plutonium, old, dirty nuclear bombs mixed with uranium to produce fuel. There's a bright idea. And it burnt into aerosol form. We have been breathing this for about 3 years. This story confirms what I've been going on and on about. You think you're exempt from this disaster. You are not. You are not.
Hi, I'm Andy Gunderson from Fairlands.
152. ENI News. Nuclear fuel fragments from Fukushima found in Europe. Study plume came directly from North America. The plume came directly from North America. Hot particles, a significant part of disaster's radioactive release, quickly disperses around the entire hemisphere. Seen on film of air filter in Norway. We've got like 2 or 3 spots reporting here that they've actually detected radioactive materials in their filters directly from Fukushima. Now,
I bring a sword against the land and the people of the land, take one man from their borders and make him their watchman. He sees the sword coming out of the land, blows the trumpet and warns the people. But there is one who hears the sound of the trumpet, yet does not heed the warning. Then the sword comes and sweeps him away. He will be responsible for his own death. He heard the sound of the trumpet, but did not heed the warning. So he is responsible for himself. If he had heeded the warning, he would have saved his life. But suppose the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people. Then the sword comes and takes one of their lives. He is swept away for his iniquity, but I will hold the watchman accountable for that person's death. As for you, son of man, I have made you a watchman for the house of Israel. Whenever you hear a word from my mouth, you must warn them on my behalf. When I say to the wicked, O wicked man, you must certainly die, and you do not warn the wicked about his behavior, the wicked man will die for his iniquity, but I will hold you accountable.
By law,
have to have somewhere to put the cement fuel rods. They promised us they would have the cement fuel rods taken care of by 1976, then by 1982, then by 1985, then 1991. It's 2013, you still store them on site.